Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful. It's so good to see all of you. Um, I want to remind you that we record. If you want me to pause the recording, I will. If there's something you need to say in terms of offering feedback, you don't record it, let us know. Um, I want to remind you, I love this meeting. I love this meeting. And it took me a couple of years to figure out why I love this meeting so much. But here's the reality, right? I spend all month talking about doing this, right? I you know, I spend all year organizing Supercrowd 24, right? And yet really the what we're all about is what happens in the Impact Cherub Club, right? We actually do it. We sit around, we talk about what to invest in, and we invest our money. That makes you pretty darn special people. And I am so grateful. And, uh, I learned so much from you. This is just I wrote this book recently uh, and it's really about what I learned from all of you in the process of hosting the Impact Share Club meeting. So I'm so grateful to all of you for all that you do. So thank you. Um, we have, as always, kind of a full agenda, so I need to shut up and move on. But thank you very, very much for being here and for being such an important part of this real genuine movement. So thank you. Um, Many of you were at Supercrowd 24. Thank you very, very much for being there. Appreciate your support. It was, in so many ways, a very successful event. Let's take a minute and introduce ourselves again. And let's see, today, tell us who you are, your name, and where you are. That's always interesting to remind one another of that. And then tell us about, um, tell us one thing you don't think we know about you. One quick thing we don't know about you yet. Gail, will you start?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what people don't know about me. Anyway, I'm Gail. I live in Stockton, California. And for those of you who don't know where Stockton is, it's just east of the Bay Area. And I grew up in Sacramento.
Excellent. Chandon.
Okay. Hi, I'm Chandan Shah from Dhaka, Bangladesh. And the thing that you may know, I um, I was born and raised in a rural area of our country, and now I live in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh now. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Chip, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Chip House and I live in Falls Church, Virginia, which is inside the infamous Beltway. And there's one thing that none of you could conceivably know, and that is that I just came indoors from seeing our neighbor who was walking his new dog and talking to our other neighbor, and the neighbor walking his dog is trying to start up a business that would help poor people in debt solidify their debt. And I talked to him about this meeting that I was about to go to, and that he had never heard of regulated crowdfund investing. So one of our friendly platforms may get a new client soon.
Oh, good. Good. That's great. Chris Cairns.
Hi, I'm Chris Cairns, and I live in Port Arthur, Washington, which is on the west side of the Puget Sound. I have a view of Seattle from my house, and I'm sure there's lots of things you guys don't know about me, but I guess I'm out here in Washington, but I grew up in Illinois, so that's
Oh,
my little tidbit.
I did not know that. I traveled all around Ethiopia with you, and I did not know that you grew up in Illinois. Okay.
There's
Um,
a story there, I'm sure, as well.
yeah, that was a great trip. That was a great trip. We went on a polio eradication trip together a decade ago. Fiona.
Hi, everyone. I'm Fiona. I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa. And something you probably don't know about me is that I was born in Zimbabwe, which is up further north.
Oh, yes, yes. Good to know you. Thank you. Marcia. Let's see, we need you to unmute. There we go. What?
There we go. Sorry about that. That's something people don't know about me, how terrible I am at technology. I'm really trying, but now I'm frozen. I live in Boise, Idaho, and literally have only made 2 investments so far, so I couldn't possibly be any newer at this. It's all fascinating, but a little bit terrifying. So I come every month and try to learn a little more and be a little more comfortable with it.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. Yoga.
Hi everyone, my name's Yoga. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and something that you probably won't know is I was born and raised in Indonesia.
Oh, yeah. That is a true statement. We did not know that. It's good to know. That's a long way from Minneapolis. So, Erwin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Erwin Mason. I'm in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I actually about 2 minutes outside of Oklahoma City. One thing that you guys don't know about me that might get me in trouble is that I love to barbecue.
Oh, yes. There's nothing that smells better than a good barbecue. Patrice.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. So my name is Patrice Gayton. I'm based right now in Petronville, Haiti. And well, one thing, I have a nice dog that's called Prince. And during dinner, he loves the maid more than I am. So, yes, that's what it is.
That's great. It's good to see you smiling today. I hope everything's well and doing okay in Haiti. We worry about you there. So,
I'm safe. I'm good. I'm safe, protected.
that's
I'm
good.
careful.
Glad to hear it. Carl.
Good morning. I have to apologize to everyone. I appeared on Devin's program last week and my celebrity status has soared. So I've got to jump to other calls today, but you all have my proxy to vote on everything we're going to talk about today. I'm in Denver, Colorado, and since everybody's talking about where they're born, I was actually born on a farm in eastern Kansas. And so when I have to state my accurate place of birth, it's Sugar Creek Township, Miami County, Kansas. And getting all that in that small box that they give you from the government's a little bit of a challenge. So.
I love it. I love it. Lewis.
Yes. Can you hear me, Dev?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I am Louis Shaw. I live outside Boulder, Colorado. And something most of you probably don't know about me is that is a centerpiece of my life is I spend a lot of time in meditation every day. So there we go.
That is, we appreciate that role modeling. I think all of us could use a little more peace and calm in our lives, and that would help us do it. So
thank you.
Well, I thank you, everybody. I appreciate you taking a minute to share. It's so good to get to know you, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with you on this wonderful, wonderful stuff that we do together. We have some great companies to look at this month. I really appreciate you taking the time to help us pick companies to review. We had a great response this month to our request for feedback, and so I really appreciate that. I love it when I feel like I'm definitely not making the decision on my own of what we're going to consider. So I appreciate you taking the time. I want to encourage you to invite friends to join us, but I do want to say we're going to change something. going forward. We're going to grandfather everyone in this group, as although most of you are what we now call impact members. That is, most of you are paying subscribers. We call that an impact membership now in the super crowd world. We're only going to allow impact members to join the Impact Cherub Club going forward. So when you invite people to join us, it's fair to let them know that they'll be required to subscribe, and that cost is $5.95 a month or $55 a year. So it's, a cup of coffee a month to participate. So I've kind of resisted that for a long time, but part of what I hope is that by requiring that, those who do sign up to join us will be more likely to come. We have 80 people who have signed up to join the Impact Cherub Club. And although I'm thrilled that we have this group here today, there are a lot of people who aren't here, and we'd love to see more people, a higher attendance rate in our community. So I'm hoping that perhaps a dues feature will help attendance and help us build this. I did the book is out officially. It's you can order the book on Amazon now. It's available for pre-order as an ebook. It will be available at the same link via paperback in a day or two. So I'm excited about that. Again, we dedicated this book to the Impact Cherub Club because this is where I learned all of the information that's in the book. So I'm grateful to all of you and appreciate your helping me learn. We do have, just share this here. Forgive me. I've got my agenda here. I'm just going to drop this into the chat so you can all see it. Nothing too fancy there. It's not a secret or anything, but let me share the recording to last month's meeting. If any of you were not here and want to or were here and want to relive that moment, there you go. Tomorrow we're having the Super Crowd Hour monthly webinar, and tomorrow our beloved Chip House, who's here, of course, will be the star of the show. We're going to be talking about, yes, Chip, you will be the star of the show. Chip is a genuine professional peace builder, right? He spent his life and career building peace. And over the last, I don't know, is it 5 or 10 years, Chip? You've really become interested in positive peace, and you've worked with the zebras and supported us, and you're doing all kinds of great things to help solve social problems, building on this principle of peace building. That is, a positive approach to peace is this idea that we solve problems that create conflicts so that we reduce the temptation for conflicts, right? So if we address climate change, we're reducing the potential for conflicts. If we address public health, we reduce potential for conflict. If we address social justice issues and poverty, we reduce potential for conflicts, right? And so it is a formal part of peace. And Chip just has really leaned into that. And so we'll have this conversation with some members of the professional peace building community. And my goal is to have Chip serve as a translator between the impact community, the impact investing community, and the impact crowdfunding community, and the peace building community to talk about how what we do is a form of peace building. And I hope you'll want to attend this discussion. It's going to be so incredibly valuable. It's at the same time of day as this meeting, but it will be tomorrow. So I hope you can join us. It will be really, I think, an interesting thing. And we have a little reward program for those who actually take advantage of it. When you attend 10 of our monthly Supercrowd Hour webinars, we have a $100 reward for you. So we keep track of the attendance. You have to attend via Zoom. We'll share a YouTube link, but you don't get credit for attending if you use the YouTube link. But we'll give you $100 if you attend the Zoom. And Chandon shared the link in the chat to register. So I hope you'll be there.
Before you go any further, Devin, your guest is having a panic attack. It's at the same time tomorrow, not an hour later?
Well, I am frequently wrong and often in doubt. So if you have it an hour later, that's probably when it is. But let me
No, I mean, having just screwed up somebody else's time today. Keep going. I'll find out.
Let me just look at my calendar. Yeah, I've got the Supercrowd Hour is the same time tomorrow as.
Oh, good. That makes my life simpler.
Okay.
I will be there, and I will be at home.
Okay. And we're looking forward to this. I really think this is an important discussion, right? There are lots of reasons to do what we do, and it isn't top of mind for most of us, I don't think, to think about peace building as one of the motivations. But I think it's important for us to be thinking about how this contributes to peace and how we can layer that motivation and that insight, right? To begin thinking about, let that be one of the impacts we pursue with our investments through crowdfunding. Okay. I had a weird problem this morning. The Google Chrome is not playing nice with Google Docs. So I have my Microsoft browser open to see the Google Doc, which seems like the greatest of tech ironies. Okay, so the Impact Cherub, I forgot to share the Impact Cherub Club log link in the chat here, but it's wise for you to keep track, and so we do keep track of all the deals we consider and what we decide to invest in, so you can see that in a ready reference. It's there. I need to double check and make sure it's all up to date. I'll do that after this meeting. And of course, there's I do a write-up for the newsletter for our meetings in order to encourage people to join us, which I will continue to do. But going forward, they'll include an invitation to become paying subscribers. We will. So anyway, you can see the write-up there. That may be handy, as it has a little bit about the companies that we've considered. Remember that last month we decided not to invest in Stride Development. That was Yoga's recommendation. We decided to invest in Block Power, and Patrice did a great job of telling us about Solar Harvest for Howell Farms, but that deal got fully funded before our meeting, so we didn't have an opportunity to actually make a vote or invest in that deal. Today, now we're ready for the big moment, and that is to have Marcia tell us a little bit about Got Bag. And
Right.
Marcia, I know you may be a little nervous about this, but the reality is you are the most qualified to address this of anyone in this. You run an online retail business, right? And
Well, sort of. Yeah.
and you
We
sell.
just started. Yeah. And we sell accessories, not bags, but accessories.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of know how easy or hard it is to sell stuff and whether this is a business. So, what did you learn? You want to, let me give you
Well, we didn't actually have a chance to go through it like we were going to.
Okay.
Because there was an email that I thought that Jackie sent something to us, but I'm not seeing it now. That's what I was just looking for. Because Jackie had done a little more research on it.
Okay.
And her and I didn't get a chance to meet. And I don't even know how to use our tools. So I'm still looking at things.
That's
like I
okay.
look at everything with interest, but not as much
Yeah.
critical thinking as I think we need. It's a great idea. It over on the surface looks great. And they seem to be doing well, but as far as like technical, I didn't really get into the background of it too much. But I love the product, which is a problem for me because that's how I kind of make decisions on everything right now. And I was hoping to learn to be a little more thoughtful about it because it's no different than donating. Pretty much. That's how I'm looking at it. So yeah, so Jackie I thought was going to send over. She had time on she had another meeting that conflicted with this one, and then her last note said she was going to send over what she had done. But her and I didn't get a chance to go over it.
Okay.
And I don't really know how to use our tools. And so I really wasn't comfortable getting into the background and all of that. Overall, what we looked at a month ago, which is, while it looked good, but whether we'd recommend it or not, I honestly don't know. I know that doesn't help you.
Well, yes. Let's talk about this for a minute. There are some things that we can kind of go through, and in not very good order. One of the things that jumps out at me is that this is structured as a safe. That is a simple agreement for future equity. This safe incorporates both a valuation cap at 11 million and a 10% discount. If you are among the early investors, and the early investment opportunity is still there. We can still qualify for that if we jump in now. It does appear that this is a U.S. affiliate of I think a European company, and I'm not sure how that structure influences this. I think not everyone agrees, but I think there is some skepticism around safes as instruments. They are very founder supportive instruments in that they require so little lawyering to set up, right? So as an issuer, as an entrepreneur, these are appealing because they're easy to set up. As an investor, it works against us a little bit in that it may be difficult for us to actually see our safe convert into real equity down the road. And then there's also the question of whether that equity ever becomes valuable and liquid. Will the company go public, or will the company get sold and return money? So it's from an investor standpoint, I would say that structure requires us to have higher expectations of either impact or financial returns in order to invest.
Yeah, I didn't even really 100% understand it, so it made me immediately kind of back off.
I don't think that means no.
Yeah, but
it means no. I think it means let's look for now. This is where Marcia, you can really offer the powerful insights. For a business to be worth $11 million, they have to sell a lot of these bags. Now, if they are selling a lot of these bags, they're making a big difference in ocean plastic, right? They're taking plastic that would either that either came from the ocean or would end up in the ocean. I think that's their script.
And they work with local communities, so that all looked really impressive. That they built centers at local points and pay people fairly to help collect that plastic and in those communities. So all of that looked really good. But wow, it's a lot of bags to sell. It's it's a lot. It's just a lot, and there's a lot of recycled stuff out there. So that was the other thing I wasn't sure. I mean, I hope it's not dying down, or people are becoming used to it. But there's a lot of
recycled pants.
Recycled what?
I'm wearing recycled polyester pants right now this minute.
Exactly. You can get recycled. We do recycle a lot of stuff. So, and that's great. That's becoming more common. And this specifically focusing on the ocean plastics, all those are all feel good. I thought all of that looked really great. I loved it. And, just even how they set everything up looked good. But then I just don't understand. That's a lot. Again, a lot. That's a lot of bags. Like everybody would have to be buying those particular bags. And I might choose that bag over another one, but they're also, higher end. They're a little bit expensive too. So, and you do know you're paying more for it, but I just don't know. I didn't know if I was comfortable with the sales, if that was realistic.
Yeah. So our time is up. I'm intrigued by
and because I'm not as good at understanding all of this, it's 250 growth valuation, doubling current investors' unrealized returns in just 10 months. Again, seemed very optimistic. And I don't know enough about digging into the background of the numbers, whether that is realistic, but it didn't feel realistic to me, just generally.
Yeah, I think what they're saying is that they're raising this round at a price of 3.5 times the last round, but that's great for the people who invested in the last round. That's not great for us.
Exactly.
So let's see if we can't vote here. Where's my button to vote? And let me suggest, I'm going to violate my rule and suggest that you vote to abstain if you would like to revisit this again next month. So abstain if you want to vote next month, or vote yes or vote no. So let's see what the votes
So
are.
Lewis wrote in the chat, what happens to the bags when they're finished with them? Maybe too good to be true. And that's exactly sure. I presumably they can be recycled, but there's no mechanism set up for that. So you're recycling, which it can happen, but it's a much more difficult process to recycle something that's already made into something. So they strip it, they shred it, sometimes it can be redone, sometimes it can't. So again, I wasn't sure. So yeah, as far as there's so many things out there, I think I was going to pass, but I didn't want to be too negative on it because I sure love the idea.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do this every month. It drives me crazy. There's so many great things out there.
Yeah, the hardest part is all the good things, all the good things.
You want to help everybody. You want it to be successful, but
so I think there's still a couple of you who haven't voted yet.
Oh, I haven't seen the vote.
Okay.
Popped up. Sometimes you have to redo your screen to make it pop up. Like close it and open it.
Yeah, it may be hiding behind your screen there, your window with the Zoom in it. If you minimize your main Zoom window, you may see it popped up behind.
It's harder. That's harder to do on a Mac.
Is it?
Yeah, here it is. No, I have a new note. Anyway, I would vote no rather than waste our time looking for it.
Okay. Okay. So I think with that, that would be everybody that, and so Chip's no vote, if we add that to the mix, does not overwhelm the abstain votes, which we
Okay.
defined as being, let's look at it again next month. So let's push that back again to next month and see
I'm
if,
happy with that as well.
okay.
Yeah, me too.
So let's move on to Sorbiforce. Chip and Yoga, you were going to take a look at that one.
Yeah, and Yoga did the bulk of the real due diligence, and so let him start. And I have some skeptical things to add at the end.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start by sharing my screen here. Sorry, that was cut back. So Force is looking to manufacture sustainable battery from these 4 key components, and none of those are metal. So the unique part of this is that the battery is recyclable, even compostable on the carbon part, and water, of course, and no byproduct. As you can read there, it offers a lot of better quality from metal batteries, I mean. So this is their comparison with their competitors, or like the products out there. But what I notice is they're only comparing to metal batteries, which according to the AI prompts, your tools, Devin, they do have competitors that also developing non-metal sustainable batteries, but they don't use that as their comparison, unfortunately. They have backing from Google, which is non-dilutive in this case. The US government also backed them, the University of Arizona. So those are the 3 big names that I notice. GISD, I'm not sure what that is. Also important is Squire Patent Box, which is a law firms that will help them with patent registration, patent acquisition, which is important. This is their projection and the cost, the price of their batteries, production cost and margin there, and their projections. I'm not sure like this is realistic from 1 to 7. That's a big jump, but I guess battery sectors are a huge market in the near future. I believe that. The exit strategy for investor, they're looking for potential of like, so they're open to early investor to sell in the next 2 years when they're doing round A and B. So it's the next the growth stage, and then they're looking for IPO in 6 years. And if you remain, they'll grow dividends on it. So from here you can see that this is a long-term play. And this is what they envisioned for the next decade or so. So the IPO is really far out there in 2030, and I'm not sure that we'll go there. Like there's very few startups that make it through IPO stage. For the most part, they're either being acquired or sold, assuming that they're successful, or just fold. This is a concern of sort. Only 5 total employees. So the company is new, like it's newly, I guess they've been around since 2018 or so, but they just newly um uh uh built in 2022, like created, legalized. So only 5 employees, and this is based on LinkedIn, by the way. This is not their document. This is LinkedIn documents. So it's a good growth as far as like head counts, but it's very low. And they haven't had a product like a mass product. They already have prototype, but they don't have products yet. And what is concerning here is the patents that they have, or like at least told us about it, is owned by their employees. So it's not on company level. So I'm not sure what this means. Like, so the company is applying for patents, but the patents that existing right now is not on a company level. So those are some of the key risks that I identify. And also the owners, 56% by the founder, which could present a problem. I mean, he probably won't retain majority in the next growth rounds, which could become a problem, depending on your take on it. Because if he's not in owning this company anymore, like not in majority anymore, then he could get kicked out, or doesn't have many further motivations to be in the company if he get diluted below the majority. So that would be also potentially a problem, I think. So as far as, oops, I'm going over the time here. So I am reluctant to say yes. Mostly I would say yes because I would like this to work, more so than the investment thesis, because I see lots of risk, and the valuation is not terribly good. It's 10 million and it doesn't have revenue yet. There are other on the similar adjacent space that slightly more in valuations, but they do have revenue. So for a new company, and the founders haven't had exit experience, several risks out there. A good thing is the products has a huge addressable market, and they're raising in Republic, which I think compared to other crowdfunding platform, Republic is more stringent because they have a skin in the game. They do invest themselves. So I guess if you want to invest, take heart that it's with Republic. So it's a long shot, which if I have the capital, I probably would invest just because I want it to work, but because I am considering other investment, I would say no.
Okay, Chip, what do you want to add to that?
I just make the skepticism more skeptical. The investment window closes this weekend. They're only at about, I think, 40% of what they wanted to raise. I couldn't pull that up quickly. Someone put in the chat something about the scientists. The team really only lists one scientist. And it is a big ticket item. It will sell primarily to industrial customers, which is fine, but it also makes it a bigger product and literally bigger than bags. You don't have to sell a lot of them, but each one is going to cost a lot. And I want to come back to a criterion that Devin raised a couple months ago, and that is we should be voting as if we were really going to do this ourselves and our own money is at stake. So I am investing in this work, essentially my grandkids' college tuition funds, which they probably won't need. But this doesn't feel like a risk that Kirill and Mila would be happy with my making. So I'm going to vote no. I would love, like Yoga said, I would love for this to work. I mean, if this works, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
But I don't think these guys can do it.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. I think the poll is out there. Do you see it this time, Chip?
Nope, but I'll vote no.
Okay. And I will say for this one, let's use our standard protocol. Don't abstain. Everyone's eligible to vote. Oh, Jackie, glad you could join us. We decided to defer and revisit Got Bag again next month. Okay, so I'm going to end this poll with Chip's no. I think we're a solid no on this one, and I think all of us feel a desire for this one to work, and I think it's really commendable. We've got to be scrutinizing deals as investments, right? If we put our money into this and it fails, instead of putting money into something that works or could work, we have hurt ourselves and we've hurt the planet. So I think it's wise for us to scrutinize these deals. We may be wrong, but there's no question we're right to scrutinize the deals. So thank you very, very much. Okay. Louis, what did you want to add?
Yeah, I wanted to vote no. The screen didn't pop up for me, but
okay.
It's the dreams about certain types of batteries are really like castles in the air for me, almost like a perpetual motion machine. I mean, to conceive of some of these is absolutely wonderful, but getting there, I mean, as one of our colleagues said a moment ago, this may happen in the future, but it's not going to happen with this group. There are too many unknowns and unprovens here. So there we go. Not least of all with management, future management plans that we don't know, and ownership of patents. Those kinds of things are critical, I think.
Yeah. Good point. All righty, Louis. I want to shift gears now. I'm today's education moment, I want to use to discuss kind of a possible action item. There's an element of education in this. Jackie's talked in the past about donor-advised funds. And donor-advised funds are instruments that typically affluent and wealthy people use. It's the highest, the richest people in the world set up foundations. They get a little more control with their own foundation than they do with the DAF. But high net worth individuals and families with net worths in that $25 million and below usually use donor advised funds for their giving. And there are a few donor advised fund nonprofits, Impact Assets being the biggest and the most well known, that will allow you to make impact investments with your money in the donor advised fund. And let me be really clear. When you give money to a donor advised fund, it's a weird deal. You have given your money to a charity, period, end of story. It's not your money anymore. But the nonprofit you give it to agrees to pretend that it's still your money and let you manage it, manage the investments, and decide when and where to give the money away ultimately to another charity. And Impact Assets and some other platforms have allowed for the donors to make impact investments. Impact Assets has long had a $25,000 minimum account value. And they're very proud of how accessible they're making that to the world, right? Because a lot of the impact investing community has been doing impact investments at a much higher scale. But typically, their investment minimum was at least $5,000, and I think maybe higher than that. So it really still has been for accredited investors, right? There are very few people who are not accredited who wanted to give that kind of money with that approach. So it's still been for affluent people, but a lot of people who would not describe themselves as wealthy, even though some of us might describe them as wealthy. There would be some argument, at least. They have created a new program that is much more accessible. And so the new program is to set up for a group to set up a donor advised fund and allow for sub accounts within that donor advised fund for individuals. The minimum investment, as I understand it, is still $5,000. So it's not a perfect fit for the Impact Cherub Club. But if in this room there are people who are willing to contribute meaningful amounts of money, they've got some wealth to manage, and they would be interested in this, and the rest of us can, the minimum sub account is $250. And the minimum total account, I think, is still 25,000. But because we can come at it together, we might be able to pull together $25,000 and make 5 investments as a group. Now, there's still some things that we would have to sort out with them, like would they invest in any crowdfunding deal we choose? Or are they going to tell us they don't like WeFunder and won't invest there? Or they don't like Republic and won't invest there? Or only like Start Engine and will only invest there? So there's some issues we've got to sort out. But I think the important thing is for us to start the discussion here and ask the question, is this group in a position to put together a $25,000 fund? And if so, do we want to try and do that?
Devin, may I jump in here?
Yes, you should.
Yeah, and for folks, maybe I don't know how familiar they are with DAF, so I'll add this, and if everybody knows, just say, Jackie, go back in your corner. But the idea here is if, as Devin said, let's say you have $250 and you have earmarked this money to donate or do something impactful. Because when you think of 501c3s that you donate to, they're usually impact in some manner, right? So the idea is that if you've got a certain amount of money that you have in mind that you would like to donate at some point or give away, if you will, a DAF enables you to do it immediately in one shot and say, I'm going to open up a DAF account. Maybe it's a sub account. I'm going to I'll make the amount of $1,000, just said. I'm going to move that $1,000 into this account, and I immediately take a tax deduction for that donation, if you will. The donation is to the DAF itself. It itself is a 501c3 as a general matter, and therefore you have donated, right there and then, and you can take that tax deduction right now. That's great. Because, yeah, because better to not pay taxes now than later. So that's the first thing. And then once it gets in that DAF 501c3, as Devin said, you as become kind of an advisor to that your little sub account, which has $1,000 in it, and then you say to the DAF organization, I would like this year to donate to, the United Way $50. And they'll go, okay, that's a 501, they'll do a little check, it's a 501c3, and then they'll send the check for you. You don't even have to send the check, which is great. So it's a way of organizing your giving and managing it. But some of the DAFs also, I recognize that you're not going to donate everything necessarily that year, and nor are you required to. You could let it sit there and then get invested in the meantime. And the idea here is that Devin is saying there are certain DAF organizations out there that actually let you go and invest in like real impact stuff. And when you think about it, you've already given the money away, if you will. It's earmarked. And so there's a level at which you can think about investing that money in a very different way, like this battery company, possibly, if you will, than you would for your personal, I need a financial return because it's going to pay for college, that kind of thing. And so that's why, hey, look, you don't want to waste the money, right? But that's why the opportunity to impact invest through a DAF is so uniquely wonderful, because you may take risk, if you will, in a way that you wouldn't if it were for your personal money. And so it is very, very like amazing for the
Now,
type of investing that we want to do. So sorry that I took so
that's
long.
all right. No, that's all right. So with that, the question remains, and Chip, you wanted to add something, but the question remains, can we come up with at least $25,000 over a reasonable period of time as a group? And if not, this becomes academic and educational, and that's fine. Chip, what did you want to add?
I have a statement and a question. The statement is that we have looked into DAFs. We give away about 75,000 a year and decided it didn't really matter for us because we can make our own choices, and we don't mind managing the $300 checks and the like. There is one that's been set up for the bridging space, the people who try to bridge ideological divides, and it's having trouble getting started. The question is, can a DAF invest in a for-profit, or does it have to only go to a nonprofit?
Well, that's the whole point.
Americans, a 501c3 is a nonprofit.
Yeah.
The ultimate donation has to go to a 501c3, but you can invest the money legally in anything in the interim.
Okay.
The rules of the DAF holders vary on what they will let you do, but the law is clear, you can invest in anything. So we've got to wrap up.
Yeah.
Let me ask you to ponder this question. We'll come back to it next month. And we'll see about what we can do. But it might be fun to create a fund together that we manage together. We've got to jump. Our time is really, really short. We've got two companies left. Yes. What did you want to say, Jackie?
Just could you send me a link to
Okay.
something that I could do some more reading? I've never heard of this and I know nothing about it. So I would love to read more on it if that's a possibility.
Yes, I will put together something and share that. Great question. Great request. I will do that.
Devin, can you send me your email address?
Yeah. Yeah, I will do that.
Devin,
in
would
the chat.
you?
Shannon, will you put my email in the chat? Let me, our time is running really short. Please, 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 please be patient with me, but we've got to get on the program here. We've got to make some quick decisions, and I need your patience on next steps. I'm going to share the quick overview of our next possible deal here.
Hi everyone, I'm Simon. I'm one of the founders of Handprint. Handprint is on a mission to integrate positive impact into every business transaction. We offer impact as a service by connecting companies to causes they and their customers care about. On the one hand, we curate diverse impact projects within the regenerative economy, focusing on habitat preservation, mangrove reforestation, coral reef reconstruction, and ocean plastic cleanup, but also fast expanding towards social impact projects as well. On the other hand, we create digital technology solutions that empower our clients to integrate positive impact into their services. Our suite of solutions forms a modular digital toolbox from which clients can select components that automate, integrate, and report positive impact creation. As such, our clients' existing products and services can become regenerative in a few clicks so that they can grow with the planet. Our first products have given us access to 2.75 million e-commerce stores worldwide, giving us high scalability potential. But now we are expanding our toolbox with various POCs in industries as diverse as banking, paper, hospitality, travel, transportation, shipping, and electricity. The flexibility of our toolbox allows us to help companies integrate micro contributions to positive impact projects into any kind of business process, customer touchpoint, or employee KPI. So what are the things that differentiate Handprint from its competitors in the impact integration space? Number one, dollar to impact ratio. We handpick and digitize top quality impact partners and establish a peer-to-peer connection between sponsors and partners, thereby massively reducing intermediary costs. Number two, we turn donations into impact service purchases with long-term monitoring and transparent financial accounting. You know where your money goes and how it is used. Number three, a flexible regenerative toolbox. We can connect any KPI with a digital fingerprint to positive impact through our universal API. Together with our clients, we co-design solutions that work for them and speak to their key stakeholders like customers, employees, or suppliers.
Okay, so we can't watch that whole video, but what do you think? Does someone want to volunteer to look at that deal next month?
I would, but I
Devin,
won't be available next month.
I'd like to.
Fiona, is that you volunteering?
That is me, yes.
Wonderful. I will put you down as our volunteer, and I really appreciate that.
And
Now,
Fiona, I'll look at it as well and send you some stuff. I will be in Italy
Thank
next
you.
month.
have a
Thanks,
good time in Italy, Chip. I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah.
It's work. It's work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, still, if you gotta work, Italy's not a bad place to do it. I've never enjoyed a city more than I enjoyed Rome. Oh man, I loved Rome. Okay, let's take a look at the next deal.
Hi there, we're Andrew and Tisha Vandekop, the Well Water Finders. We have invented a system that has simplified groundwater mapping, and we're really excited to tell you about it. In fact, we've received a U.S. patent. Did you know that groundwater supports more than $210 billion in economic activity in the United States alone? Think about it. If you're buying land for food production, you need to know if there's sufficient water to support your plant crops. Or maybe you're in real estate. You know that properties containing accessible groundwater will sell at way higher values. Or maybe you're a water well driller, and you need to know before you start drilling if water is present.
You know, to validate our prototype, we've spent the last 2 years surveying properties totaling more than 117,000 acres across Texas, earning more than $170,000 in revenue. We've helped ranchers locate water for cattle, New landowners locate water for their dream home. We've even helped developers locate water before they plat a new subdivision. The system has a 90% success rate based on wells drilled after our surveys.
So we have been sharing our journey on social media and have been receiving emails, calls, and messages asking, is the system for sale? We are asking for your help in supporting the development and manufacturing of equipment that is really a necessity worldwide. Here's our vision. Imagine taking a couple of boxes out of your truck, sitting it on the ground of the property you're evaluating, and being able to know if there's enough groundwater to support plans for the property. Or imagine being able to use equipment to identify a location where rainfall can be used to recharge the aquifer that is serving your well without having to drill a new one.
Aquifer recharge is a big deal. That's where you use harvested rainfall to enhance aquifer levels. If we can use our system to locate the best places to design an aquifer recharge zone from the start, we can help place hundreds and thousands of gallons of groundwater back into the aquifer each year.
Here's our plan for diverse revenue streams: direct sales of the Well Water Finder equipment, monthly recurring revenue from licensing real-time features such as Well Water Finder's regional survey data, stake drilling records, and GPS tracking, on-demand revenue from bringing in remote hydrogeologists to consult on projects similar to telemedicine, and rentals of the Well Water Finder equipment at hardware stores, feed stores, and equipment rental.
Yeah, over time, we project a positive network effect related to users of the system. For example, as more water well drillers increase their success rates, there may be more demand for the system by water well drillers. This same effect can occur with agriculture, real estate, land development, and municipal planning. Additionally, as our database of groundwater levels grows, there may be increased usage from universities, governments, or even drought monitoring. From finding a water source to support a new house to identifying a high-volume aquifer that will allow large-scale food production, the Well Water Finder solution can be portable, rapid, and easy to use.
Join us as an investor to help us solve one of the world's most...
Okay. Does anyone want to volunteer to handle that one? Any volunteers to look at the well water finders? Okay. I'm not hearing a volunteer, so we will. Our protocol is to pass on a deal that no one volunteers to cover. So we will pass on that one. So thank you, everyone. Great meeting. I apologize we went over a couple of minutes. I really, really appreciate all of you, and we will continue the discussion next month about the Give to Invest and the Donor Advised Fund idea and see what we might do with that. But thank you very, 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 very much. Have a great month. Chip, enjoy Italy. I hope you all join us for Chip's show tomorrow. And thank you, everybody. Have a great month.
Thank you.